So I often say that the lesson of this life is to love yourself well. Look at yourself every day and improve yourself every day. The world will be peaceful unless demons and monsters bully you. The greatest misfortune is that we bully ourselves and torture ourselves every day. It's your problem if you can't sleep. Didn't you say you lost your job? Being unemployed is also your problem. Not marrying a good husband is also your problem. Which one is not your problem? Your child is unfilial. It's not his problem. It's the parent's own problem. 100%. You see, most parents now have no patience. Give me an iPad and I can be quiet for 2 hours. Wow, it feels so good. Anyway, the child has you. Then one day when he plays video games and ignores you, you blame him. Have you ever thought about it? It starts from his childhood, so I often say that before the age of 12, you must spend more time with your children and give more to them. After the age of 12, they will not betray you and will not rebel. Rebellion does not necessarily lead to rebellion. It is created by parents. All the causes planted will definitely show up in different patterns. So the problem is still the same. Cause and effect are all in ourselves. We have learned a lot of cause and effect. Cause and effect are all in ourselves. It is not like saying goodbye, what you will bring to your next life from your previous life, what you owed to someone in your previous life, etc.
It is an unwholesome thought.
So I tell many couples, just don't say I am here to collect debts.
Your thinking is toxic.
Don't think I am here to repay a favor. Your thoughts jump when you collect debts, when you think about collecting debts. Wow. He's here to collect debts, and you already owe him so much. You pay him back this life and hope not to see him again in the next. Thinking this way will keep you negative, always seeing him as a debt you owe. When he's lying next to you and you think he's there to collect that debt, how can you truly feel at ease? Yeah, it's like the idea of being completely drained by someone, that kind of fear. So when it comes to people's mindset, try looking at it from another angle. I'm here to repay kindness. I'm here to be grateful. Then your thinking shifts, and when you see him, you feel at ease, your thoughts turn positive. That's why I often say, when it comes to spiritual practice, what you really work on is your family, not just sentient beings. In Buddhism, they talk about sentient beings being freed from suffering and finding happiness, but how many sentient beings are there? You don't even know the number, yet you try to show compassion to all of them. When studying Buddhism, we sometimes stop thinking for ourselves. So in my own practice, I think logically. If something doesn't make sense, even if it's from the Buddha or anyone else, I'll question it. Exactly, that's why I often say that what we should be cultivating is our family, not just sentient beings. Those are just feelings, but your family is something you can actually work on and feel every day. Do you feel anything for your wife? Do you feel compassion for her? If you can't feel compassion, if you really dislike her, why is it that you can feel compassion for sentient beings but not for her right away? See, if you really dislike someone but can still generate compassion, that's true skill. If you can't, then you just can't. I've told many wives, you could say to your husband every day, "Honey, you're amazing, you're so handsome. I'm grateful for you, I really love you." But you just can't get the words out, right? Seriously, would you actually say it? You'd probably think your husband would think you're crazy, that you're just imagining things, and maybe he doesn't even think that way, it's just you overthinking. You can't even show compassion to your loved ones, yet you claim it for all beings. Is that sincere? You're just fooling the bodhisattvas. That's what the master said. The biggest problem is we're not honest. The hardest thing is not being true to ourselves. Everything feels numb. We recite Amitabha Buddha, wish all beings to be free from suffering and happy, and every day chant many sutras, the Kitagarbha Sutra and others, recite them all, then feel we've reported to the bodhisattvas. But really, we haven't created value or logic for ourselves. We just listen, study, practice, but after that, we don't think about it. We just blindly believe, numb to it all. You haven't entered the state of spiritual practice at all, and then you can't practice. Why, after studying for so many thousands of years, have you never thought about what this means? This truly describes the difference between us humans, the difference between bodhisattvas and us, the difference between Buddhas and us. The only difference is not the physical body. The physical body is the same as ours. When Sakyamuni Buddha was alive, he also had to defecate, urinate, and eat. He really inhaled oxygen. The central master is the same as your master. The daily master is the same as well. The current masters, all the masters in the world are the same. The entrepreneurs are the same. You and I are the same, basking in the sun, inhaling oxygen, and eating bread. We are born by our parents, and one day we will grow old, get sick, and die. No one wants to live. Such a great person, so many great people in the world are gone. Person keeps what they have, so what's the difference? Why is there a difference? Thinking is called a body of blessings and energy. Your thinking is different, and the feelings and attractions of all the worlds are different. So what we really need to change is this. So the method for change is to deal with it every day and purify yourself. Besides purifying yourself, I keep saying that you must love yourself well. But you must love yourself in a way that is not selfish. Selfishness is called harming yourself and abusing yourself. So many people say that loving yourself is not that. Bodhisattvas say that it is all about benefiting lovers for life. What are you? A lover is the most important among sentient beings. You are the protagonist. If you, the protagonist, don't love those around you, why would you do that? Because of you, you have all your sentient beings. Because of you, you have your family. Because of you, you have your children. Because of you, you have your universe. Because everyone's feelings are different. Even though I'm saying this, every single sentence I say is felt differently by each person 100%. Some people think it makes a lot of sense. Some feel like they've heard it before, like it's more or less the same, and that's it. Some might even feel sleepy. Yeah, it sounds kind of nice, hits the spot, and that's it. Like this, you just wait a bit, and in another hour, you can have tea again, right? So everyone really feels differently. Same space. Same words, same way of speaking. Why does everyone feel differently? Because your energy is different, your blessings are different. Even if everyone drinks the same cup of coffee, each person's experience is different.
The I Ching says,
Great virtue carries all things. Kindness, compassion, and having a broad perspective are all called virtue. It's important to say that kindness, compassion, and virtue are essentially the same concept. Opening your heart is what it means. Compassion is to open your mind. Everyone needs to remember this. Only with virtue can all things exist in the world. Carrying all things means to exist. If you have blessings, you can enjoy this coffee. You can even enjoy it when others scold you and not get angry, because your heart is so open. You can accept both bad people and good people. If someone scolds you, you don't get angry. If someone dislikes you, you don't get angry. If someone praises you, you're happy too. This is what it means to open your heart. This is what virtue is. Carrying all things means to bear all the affairs and things of the world. So, you must always remember this. Only then can kindness truly allow you to enjoy the world. If you are kind, your body can enjoy good health. If you view others with kindness, your eyes can enjoy the happiness of the world. When the way you listen is different from others, your CPU, your level of awareness, reaches a point where the way you see, the way you hear, the way you smell, all your senses are elevated. The human world becomes heaven because your experiences are completely different. Everyone you see at home, your husband is a bodhisattva, your children are bodhisattvas, your in-laws are bodhisattvas, and this place is a spiritual center. So, do you even need heaven anymore? Do you need it? Does anyone here want to go to heaven? A lot of people are practicing Pure Land Buddhism. Do you all want to go to the Pure Land? I often say, don't go to heaven. Why? It's too boring. Every day, all you do is eat, drink, and have fun, and you don't have to do anything. Whatever you want, you get. If you want coffee, it appears. If you want to drive a nice car, the car just comes to you. Isn't that kind of life boring? So boring you'd go nuts. That's why I'd rather go to hell. There's so much to do. You're busy moving things, and people are telling you what to do. Having things to do is what makes life interesting, right? Yes, so that's when your thinking needs to jump. When your thinking is completely different, your life will be different. That's why many people are rushing to go to heaven, but I think they should go to hell to help more people in need. Today, I help those who are suffering and wailing every day because they are very busy. Passes in a flash. Every day, I drink afternoon tea there and wait to go to sleep. Wow, it's so boring. There's a change in thinking. So what it means is that the first object we really want to love and be compassionate to is you. Only with you can you become a Buddha. Only with you can you have sentient beings. Only with you can you have the object of your heart and compassion. Without you, there is nothing. Without you, it's the same. Your world will disappear, all your moods will disappear, and it will be just a tombstone there, turning into nature. So in the end, it's a whole, but in this life, you are the protagonist. If we realize that this is our mission in this life, we should live well and open up our compassion. Then the best way to treat ourselves is to promote kindness and compassion. Buddha Shakyamuni talked about the method to open wisdom, the method to accumulate virtue and blessings. The main reason is in the method. The method is called bodhicitta. If you want to achieve enlightenment and accomplish anything, if you want a happy family and a healthy body, you need to ignite the kindness and compassion in your heart. That is the best way, and the best way to love yourself. When you don't blame anyone, your body will naturally be healthy. Not blaming others is the greatest compassion for others, and it is also for yourself. That's called a double effect. When you don't blame others, when you don't blame this person, you are also compassionate to him and yourself. When you have no resentment in your heart, it is such a great thing. When you don't scold him and are not angry with him, you are compassionate to him and to yourself. Why are you compassionate to him? It means that you don't hate him. In the process of not scolding him, you don't hate him. Accept his mistakes, tolerate his mistakes, don't be angry with him, be compassionate to him. At the same time, when you are not angry with yourself, your body will be healthy and you will be compassionate to yourself. In addition to being compassionate to yourself, the moment you are not angry with others, You are tolerant of others. You will not have resentment towards others. When you have no resentment towards others, your heart is peaceful. Your heart is peaceful. That means your emotions are stable, your mind is open, and in the process of opening up, your wisdom immediately emerges. The logic of your emotions becomes very clear. It's not about believing in some scripture or another. That's not the point. When you're in a happy emotional state, a calm state, a state without resentment, without anger, the moment you let go, that peace, that moment, your mind is extremely clear. It's extremely clear. But as soon as you feel resentment, dislike, or unwillingness, your wisdom becomes impaired. You're in a mentally handicapped state. Are we all mentally handicapped sometimes? It's like being an idiot. Often, when we have too much of this in our hearts, we're basically in a state of mental disability. At that time, it's when you love yourself the least, you're actually hurting yourself. And what happens when you hurt yourself? You become more and more mentally impaired, and one day you might even develop dementia. Seriously, because when you stop thinking, you become demented. Dementia is a very serious issue nowadays. There are a lot of cases related to dementia recently, Even in my own clinic, there are many successful entrepreneurs who suddenly have nothing to do, nothing to accomplish. They used to be at the top in high-pressure situations, and they had a sense of achievement. Many people decline after retirement, even from a good state. That's why many entrepreneurs can't retire. Once they do, it's too late. Entering a peaceful, spend-only state is like heaven, but it's better to stay active and keep doing things. Seriously, this is something I've seen in so many people, especially men. Women tend to have it a bit better because if they've been pampered since they were young, they're used to spending money and maybe scolding their husbands a bit. Then slowly, the people around him get used to doing this, and then it's not easy for him to run into this state when he gets old. Once a man retires, if he doesn't find a second job,
everything about him will degenerate quickly.
Even some of me, for example, some senior executives at TSMC, were really in a state of panic when the lockdown started. Later, we had many ways to bring him back, and I told him to start a company and do his own thing as soon as possible, and to do it under pressure. Now he is busy every month, and his mind is back. Once he has nothing to do, I've seen too much, so it's still the same. My logic is that you still have to do things in this world or in hell to contribute to others to have the value of existence. So what we are talking about is going back to the first condition, that you don't have pressure. The key is to love yourself well and deal with your emotions. The way to love yourself I've been talking about is whether you can stop being angry and resentful, and then realize that when we learn so many things, the biggest problem is that when we study the many extensive treatises at FOTSI, people habitually stop thinking, which leads to dementia. If you don't think, you must think, and then see if you can cultivate a little. I often say that if you can cultivate, the person you cultivate with is the one who sleeps next to you every day. So I often say that after listening to the lecture today, go home and immediately say thank you to your husband or child. I love you very much and I'm very grateful. This is cultivation, and you can cultivate every day. If you change your usual resentment into gratitude, why not? It's good for you and your family, so why not do it? We learn so many things, talk big, and say we want to help all sentient beings attain happiness and become Buddhas, but we don't even help the people around us, yet we talk about saving all beings. Not helping those around you is narrow-minded. You talk of sentient beings, aren't you fooling the bodhisattvas? Is that right? So the real object of cultivation must be your family. Cultivate well with your family, and then you must think that he is your bodhisattva. He is here to save you, not the devil who is here to torture you. He is not the one who is here to repay your debts or to collect debts. If your thinking level jumps, you will gradually feel happy and grateful towards him. We are talking about the Diamond Sutra, which talks about something called
skillfully guarding one's thoughts.
our thoughts are a mess. We think about dirty things, unforgivable things, and a lot of other things every day. But when we use kindness to protect these thoughts, the thoughts will become positive. We can't see the shortcomings of others, but see their strengths.
Use kindness to guard these thoughts.
So the whole Diamond Sutra talks a lot about protecting thoughts. Protecting thoughts means that our thoughts are too many and they run here and there. But it says that only compassion and kindness, when a person is able to protect this thought, the thought will become positive. When you don't have too many negative thoughts, when you think positively, your wisdom, your emotions will be stable. When your emotions are stable, then it is called enlightenment. This is from the perspective of medical science. Emotional stability is called enlightenment. So when we talk about long-term cultivation, for example, direct perception and superior insight are all practicing the concept of stabilizing your emotions and not letting your mind wander. The concept of not wandering is that only by using compassion can you cut off many of your thoughts. Only here can you enjoy the virtues and things of this world. So you must open your mind. The more open your mind is, the better. The less pressure you will feel. We're talking about pressure. Because your mind is too narrow, you feel pressure when you can't tolerate, listen to, or stand certain things. Nothing feels right because your mind is too narrow. Yeah, some people can't even accept themselves. They dislike themselves, you know? They blame themselves. Did I do something wrong? Did I let someone down? What am I doing? Then they get anxious and they can't even respect themselves. At that point, not even a God could save you. So that's why we say, in this life, you are the bodhisattva, you are the first requirement. But you have to establish that bodhisattva and that kindness in your own heart. And what you have to face are all bodhisattvas and kindness. If you don't have the strength to become a bodhisattva, to become a Buddha, to become a kind person, then even if you pray every day, the poor bodhisattva won't respond, the heavens won't answer, and the earth won't help. So it's the same Master Mengchong, the old monk, was really amazing. He said that the first object of our compassion should be ourselves, not all sentient beings. To be compassionate to others, first be compassionate to yourself. To love your family, first love yourself. Because your family members are the ones you practice with. Because you love yourself, you will work on them. When you love yourself, your heart opens up and you can accept your family members making mistakes. You can forgive them and not dislike them. When you don't love yourself, when your heart is narrow, you can't tolerate this or that, and your heart becomes narrower and narrower.
The meaning of kindness is to have an open heart.
Do you understand what I mean? My definition of compassion is having an open mind, an open heart. An open heart means you can accept others making mistakes, you can forgive them and not dislike them. That is compassion. When others don't believe, it's not about kicking them out. If you can't tolerate his mistakes, you might wish him harm. But if you accept him, you realize how pitiful he is. You hope he improves and feel compassion. With compassion, you can accept others getting better. that kindness is truly wonderful. Rejoice in others' success, bless them, and release jealousy. Rejoice.
So what the Master taught about observing others' merits and remembering their kindness and remembering his kindness lies in rejoicing in others.
All that is said in the extensive treatise is to remember in the light. That is, to attach to that thought and become higher and higher. Only then can one settle one's mind and be at peace. What is the meaning of settling one's mind and being at peace as mentioned in the Diamond Sutra? What should we settle on? What should we subdue with our kind hearts? All thoughts and hatreds must be subdued. But the only way to do this is to attach to this thought and turn it around. So you see, the Diamond Sutra keeps talking about this. So what happens in the end? It says, be still and unmoved. All things are against the law. They are like dreams, illusions, and bubbles. It means that when you protect that thought, your mind is still and there are no other thoughts. Only then will you realize that everything is like dreams, illusions, and bubbles. What does all your troubles mean? All thoughts, all ideas, and past ideas no longer exist. What happened yesterday no longer exists. What will happen tomorrow no longer exists. No one knows whether it will happen. It is called like dreams, illusions, and bubbles. It is just a memory. Someone scolded you yesterday, and you hated him. That thing no longer exists, but you just hold on to it and hold on to it.
That is what's known as dependent origination and emptiness.
It doesn't mean nothing. We use abuse to hold onto an image or memory that once hurt you, deceived you, or hated you. We hold on to it tightly. Attachment lies here, and we cling to illusions and bubbles. There's nothing to hold on to because one day when you're about to die, you'll still be hating that person. What they did to you in the past is gone, and maybe they don't even remember it. So you have to learn the extensive treatise on the stages of the path to enlightenment, and everything must be integrated and mastered. So today we're learning about pressure, which is a method of delivering pressure. The best way is to let go of yourself and love yourself well. Loving yourself has nothing to do with selfishness. Loving yourself is selflessness. Selflessness is the greatest selfishness. You must have this mindset, understand? If you love yourself and are in good condition, you can do many things to help others. For example, you can have a very peaceful mind. If you don't think about compassion and the great things others do every day, your mind will become restless and you don't love yourself. If you continue like this every day, you can't even handle yourself and you expect compassion. It's simply impossible.